Part 1. The Hearth and the Salamander. It was a pleasure to burn. It was a special pleasure to see things eaten, to see things blackened and changed. Books like On the Origin of Species, The Grapes of Wrath. Montague returned to the firehouse, showered luxuriously. He walked out of the fire station toward the subway. Whistling, he let the escalator waft him into the still night air. He walked, thinking little at all about nothing in particular. Hello. Of course, you're our new neighbor, aren't you? And you must be the fireman. How oddly you say that. I'd have known it with my eyes shut. What, the smell of kerosene? My wife always complains you never wash it off completely. No, you don't. Kerosene is nothing but perfume to me. Do you mind if I walk back with you? I'm Clarice McKellen. Clarice? Guy Montague, come along. What are you doing out so late, wandering around? How old are you? Well, I'm 17 and I'm crazy. My uncle always says they go together. When people ask your age, he said, always say 17 and insane. I like to walk, smell things, and look at things, and sometimes stay up all night, walking and watch the sunrise. You know, I'm not afraid of you at all. Why should you be? So many people are. Afraid of firemen, I mean. But you're just a man after all. Do you mind if I ask how long you've been working at being a fireman? Since I was 20, 10 years ago. Do you ever read any of the books you burn? That's against the law. Oh, of course. It's fine work. Monday burn Millet, Wednesday Whitman, Friday Faulkner, burn 'em to ashes, then burn the ashes. That's our official slogan. Is it true that long ago firemen put fires out instead of going to start them? No, houses have always been fireproof. Take my word for it. Strange. I heard once that a long time ago, houses used to burn by accident, and they needed firemen to stop the flames. Why are you laughing? I don't know. Why? You laugh when I haven't been funny, and you answer right off. You never stop to think what I've asked you. You are an odd one. Haven't you any respect? I don't mean to be insulting. Well, doesn't this mean anything to you? Yes. Have you ever watched the jet cars racing on the boulevards down that way? I sometimes think drivers don't know what grass is, or flowers, because they never see them slowly. If you showed a driver a green blur, oh yes, he'd say, that's grass. A pink blur, that's a rose garden. White blurs are houses, brown blurs are cows. Isn't that funny and sad too? You think too many things. I rarely watch the parlor walls or go to the races or fun parks, so I have lots of time for crazy thoughts, I guess. Have you seen the 200-foot-long billboards beyond town? Did you know that once billboards were only 20 feet long? I didn't know that. But cars started rushing by so quickly they had to stretch the advertising out so it would last. Bet I know something else you don't. There's dew on the grass in the morning, and if you look, there's a man in the moon. Montague hadn't looked for a long time. What's going on? Oh, just my mother and father and uncle sitting around talking. It's like being a pedestrian, only rarer. My uncle was arrested another time, did I tell you? For being a pedestrian. Oh, we're most peculiar. But what do you talk about? Good night. Are you happy? Am I what? Happy of all the nonsense. Of course I'm happy. What does she think? I'm not? What a strange meeting on a strange night. The girl's face, really quite beautiful in memory, astonishing, in fact. She had a very thin face, like the dial of a small clock seen faintly in a dark room. In the middle of a night, when you awaken to see the time and see the clock telling you the hour and the minute and the second. With a white silence and a glowing all certainty and knowing what it had to tell of the night passing swiftly on toward further darkness, but moving also toward a new sun. How like a mirror, too, her face. Impossible, for how many people did you know who refracted your own light to you? How rarely did other people's faces take of you and throw back to you your own expression, your own innermost trembling thought. What incredible power of identification the girl had. How long had they walked together? 3 minutes? 5? Yet how large that time seemed now. Now that I think of it, she almost seemed to be waiting for me there, in the street, so damn late at night. He was not happy. He recognized this as the true state of affairs. He wore his happiness like a mask, and the girl had run off with the mask, and there was no way back. There was no way to ask for it back. Mildred! The jet bombers going over, going over, going over. 2, 6, 9, 12 of them did all the screaming for him. They had this machine. They had 2 machines, really. One of them slid down into your stomach like a black cobra down an echoing well, looking for all the old water and the old time gathered there. Did it drink of the darkness? Did it suck out all the poisons accumulated with the years? It had an eye. The impersonal operator of the machine could gaze into the soul of the person whom he was pumping out. What did the eye see? The other machine pumped all of the blood from the body and replaced it with fresh blood and serum. Gotta clean 'em out both ways. No use getting the stomach if you don't clean the blood. Leave that stuff in the blood and the blood hits the brain like a mallet. Bang, a couple 1,000 times and the brain just gives up, just quits. Stop it. I was just saying, are you done? We're done. That's $50. First, why don't you tell me if she'll be all right? Sure, she'll be okay. We got all the mean stuff right in our suitcases here. Just had another call on the old ear thimble. Someone else just jumped off the cap of a pillbox. Half an hour passed. Was it only an hour ago? Clarice in the street and him coming in and the dark room and his foot kicking the little bottle? Well, after all, this is the age of disposable tissue. Blow your nose on a person. Wad, flush, everyone using everyone else's coattails. How are you supposed to root for the home team when you don't even have a program or know the names? For that matter, what color jerseys are they wearing as they trot out on the field? The next day. Hey, the man's thinking. Yes, I wanted to talk to you. You took all the pills in your bottle last night. Oh, I wouldn't do that. The bottle was empty. Heck, what would I want to go and do a silly thing like that for? I don't know. I didn't do that. Never in a billion years. All right, if you say so. What's on this afternoon? Well, this is a play, comes on the wall in 10 minutes. They mailed me my part this morning. They write the script with one part missing. It's a new idea. The homemaker, that's me, is the missing part. When it comes time for the missing lines, they all look at me out of the 3 walls and I say the lines. Here, for instance, the man says, "What do you think of the whole idea, Helen?" And I say, "I think that's fine." It's sure fun. What's the play about? I just told you. There are these people named Bob and Ruth and Helen. It'll be even more fun when we can afford to have the 4th wall installed. That's 1/3 of my yearly pay. It's only $2,000. And I shouldn't think you'd consider me sometimes. Hello? Hello, what have you got there? I guess it's the last of the dandelions this year.